Okay, here we go.
Nah, I ain't never been with a baddie. She calm, so I added to the tally.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Shades of Sasha. If you're new, take a seat, put your crown on, and welcome to the gang. And if you're ready for the gang, you already know what time it is. What's good, baby? So today's video is just all about me transforming my $400 wig that I had since it was like 2019 of June. And I just wanted something different just to kind of like bring it back to life and just kind of do something. So this is the final results, but just stay tuned and just watch how I achieve this, and then I'll tell you my final thoughts. So for the most part, this is what the wig is looking like. She was kind of looking like she was going through it. It was rough, but I just wanted y'all to see the parting space and everything of this unit. It was just a closed unit. It has a band, and the band was also very loose. So what's the first step that I'm going to do is do a bleach bath, and I'm going to do about 5 to 6 scoops of developer, well, powder, inside of this big bin that I have. And then I'm gonna add about, I want to say, a half a bottle of the developer in this. One step that I did do wrong, I added the water first, but don't do that. I would suggest adding a small amount of water and then just making sure you're taking your time to just kind of like go through it and really making sure that everything is diluted and just like it comes together perfectly. I would also use less water than I did here, just so that it can really seep into the hair. It did change and do what I needed it to do, but I'm just giving you a heads up for if you want a better result from like my mistake. Don't do it this way. I would just use, well, do it this way, just use less water. And so pretty much after I mix everything together, all I'm going to do is just take the unit and I'm just going to dip it in there, make sure that it's completely saturated and covered. I will mention this throughout my video at the end, but it is important to watch how the hair is lifted and how the water turns and the color that it comes about it when you're doing this specific technique, because it will tell you a lot about the hair that you have and if it's really good and if it's going to just, you know, kind of saturate and do everything. You see the color of the water already kind of like changing into a different kind of like a dirt, I want to say, that's kind of towards it. So you just want to make sure that you're going to leave this in here and it's going to be soaking for like, I left mine for like 30 minutes because I didn't want it to be completely like lifted. I just wanted it to be like a really sandy brown, and I'm just making sure, like I said, it's coated through every single thing. This is a faster way to just basically bleach your hair than to do the process of like mixing it in a bowl and then going through each single strand. The water is very hot, so also make sure that you're very mindful of that when you're doing this. And you're just going to go ahead, leave it in, and then you're just going to come back and just get to it. So after everything is done and I washed my hair out with my Shimmer Light shampoo and conditioner, this is kind of what it's looking like. The elastic band on it was very loose, so I wanted it to make sure that it was very tighter. So I'm just going to put this on the mannequin head. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to sew the elastic band in place and just making sure that it's really tight. I'm also at some point going to just cut these rusted pins off, because I don't know what happened, why they changed colors, but I've had this wig for like a few years now, so I'm pretty sure it's probably the developer and just kind of it going through it. So I'm also going to end up cutting that off and just kind of get rid of it. What I would suggest whenever you're tightening your elastic band on your wigs, make sure that you're trying it on along the way so you know if it's like too tight or too loose, and then you're going to just see me do that after I just kind of go through making sure I'm sewing everything in and it's fitting exactly what it is that I needed to. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just style it. So just sit back and chill out and just listen to some music while I just kind of get this bad boy rolling. And then let's stay tuned towards the end when I tell y'all my final thoughts about this unit. So the specs of the unit is that it's a 4x4 lace front wig, so there's only a closure, it's not a frontal. And she's 24 inches and it was 200% density. And I also had to pay for the customization of the knot bleaching and pluck-in, which cost $75. So the wig cost $340, and then bleaching and the knot and pluck-in, all that cost $75. So the total was $415 for everything. And I believe I got free shipping if I'm not bugging. And I purchased this unit June 5th, 2019. So since 2019, like, I've had her. She was always black. It was just the one time that I decided that, you know what, I was like, I want a little sandy brown. Like, I want to just do something different. And because of how much I actually paid for the wig, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think that's a major part of why I just never like threw the wig away or got rid of it. Because I was like, I paid a lot of fucking money for it, and I'm not gonna just get rid of something that I paid so much money for. So yeah, hold on. These flyer weights is getting me tight. So yeah, for the most part, when it comes to the wig, she did last a very good time. Like, I can't sit here and say like she didn't. Obviously, y'all saw me do a bleach bath to the wig and she still have her length. I would say she does not feel as soft as she did like when I first got her. It just feels like, damn, you've processed her. But I feel like it's different because I don't know if it, go with me on this and hopefully this makes sense. I don't know if it feels like, damn, it's been processed, and I'm shocked because I've never processed the wig. Like, literally when I got it, it was customized for me, so I didn't have to do anything except just put it on my head and cut the lace off. So it's kind of odd or weird to me that here I am and I did this after a few years and I just feel like it's feeling like that. But I feel like now I think about it, after a few months of having a unit, it did feel like that. Like, you could see how it is. Like, it's not as, it doesn't move and flow like how other units are. And this is straight here, right? So you would think like, and she does shed, but keep in mind, like I said, this has been like three plus years. So I'm gonna use the example of like using this wig. You see when I touch the wig, like when it flows, you see some type of movement. And then here, it's like, it's not flowing. Again. And like I said, when I did review this unit, I did do stuff to this unit. I did process it and bleach it. And I feel like it still had life in it. The same way too with the red one. I think this one has a more of a, oh my God, I'm holding on for dear life. But it doesn't look that way. So it's like one of those wigs that will look completely fine, but it's going through it when you, the owner, touches it. I really hope that shit makes a lot of sense. So for the most part, doing the bleach bath of it, I don't know if that's what it is. And I feel like I should have caught that when even the combs, like the clips that came with it, because there's two right here for you to obviously clip right here, like they kind of rusted up when I did the bleach bath, and none of my other wigs did that. So it was kind of like just annoying overall, like just dealing with it and processing and doing something with this unit, because this one also did not want to take the bleach. Like it just was resistant and fighting to do that. And I think I saw someone who did a bleach bath, they said that if your unit ends up doing that way, it's probably because like the hair and the fiber itself is just not good. And so I'm not gonna want to say that's why, but I'm just saying that might be a reason for why it just kind of like did that. But overall, I am pleased with like the way how like the sandy brown-ish thing of it came out. But I feel like this is one of my units that honestly, I just kind of throw in the back of my closet. I remember it like few months and then I'm decided I'm gonna pick it up and I'm just gonna like do something because I have somewhere quick to go, or it doesn't require a lot. But you know, things has elevated since then, and like this one side is just really freaking annoying me, because you see how this is like fleshed and clean and just kind of like down. I feel like this one still has like a hump that is trying to create. So overall, I don't want to just be on here and make it seem like I'm shitting on the unit. I think it was good for me to experiment and try to bring it back to life, because it really looked like it was going through the mud. At this point, would I ever pay $300 and something for a unit like this again? That's a closure, not even a frontal. Hell no, it would never happen. And you live and you learn. So that's literally what it is. I genuinely do care for it. It was one of the most expensive wigs I purchased when I first really started getting into wigs, and like I said, it was 2019, and I got into wigs before that, but that was the first time I actually spent a lot of money to like say, yeah, I'm gonna get this and make somebody else do the work for me. And it wasn't even like a frontal, it was like a closure. So for the most part, those are my thoughts on this unit. That's my thought on the process. I think the bleach bath process is something that is quick. It makes everything activate and move a lot faster, especially when you don't really have much time. And it shows you a lot about your wigs. Like, that's just what I'm gonna say. It really shows and teaches you a lot about the wigs that you have and that you're working with. So thank y'all so much for just watching and supporting your girl, and I hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful day.